Tune in on game days to hear the play-by-play with Mitch, Danon, and Kling on your home for Chiefs football.
HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Nobody in Kansas City has sports like 96.5 The Fan.
Right side throw, touchdown! Kansas City! A 3-yard touchdown pass in overtime! Kansas City wins the game!
Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Back-to-back best sports talk hosts as voted on in the Pitch magazine.
Live from the Fan Studios. Here's CDOT.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Happy to be here with you on this great Thursday. Rob is here as well, taking you up until 6 o'clock. Today is going to be a little bit different of a show. We are going to go around the country, and we are going to get various NFL voices and get their thoughts on the state of the Kansas City Chiefs. Mike Florio of NBC Sports is going to join us coming up in about 45 minutes. Bill Barnwell of ESPN is going to be on the show today. We'll hear from a couple of other guests. Mitchell Schwartz is going to join us in studio. He has been very vocal talking about the Chiefs offense. And we have some numbers for you on what the Chiefs look like when they are in shotgun versus when they are in under center. So we got a lot of that in today's show as well. Really happy that you guys are here with us on today's show. We are going to talk Thursday Night Football coming up in about 15 minutes. Is two teams that are fighting for a wild card spot, not much different than the Kansas City Chiefs, are going up against one another in Thursday Night Football. We'll get to that coming up in just a bit. But before we do any of that, I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. And number three, and most importantly, I need you to remember that the open of the show is brought to you by our friends over at The Other Place. So if you're looking for a place to watch Thursday Night Football today and you want to watch Houston and Buffalo, then stop on in and see our friends over at The Other Place. Grab yourself a bite to eat, maybe sit on the patio by the fireplace, grab yourself something to drink, watch a little football, probably some basketball on today as well, and just enjoy some of the nice fall days that we have left before the weather really starts to turn. Go do that with our friends over at The Other Place. The first 30 minutes of this show is going to feel like we are in the exact same place that we have been for numerous weeks. I asked you guys this question last week about the Broncos, and I think you can ask the exact same question now about the Indianapolis Colts. Right now, if you go on FanDuel and you go to the NFL page and you go to this week's game between the Colts and the Chiefs, you will see that the Chiefs are a 3.5-point favorite in this game. They were favored last week against the Denver Broncos. If you take a look ahead to next week's game, the Thanksgiving game against the Cowboys, they are already a 3.5, 4-point favorite in that game if you want to look at the next 7-8 days for the Kansas City Chiefs. So, Rob, the same question that I asked you last week, I will ask you the exact same question this week about the Indianapolis Colts. Text line 913-586-7965. That the Chiefs sit here 3.5-point favorites against the Indianapolis Colts. Does that say more about Kansas City and the respect that they have around the National Football League, or the disrespect that is being delivered towards the Indianapolis Colts? Because on paper, if you are looking at what these two teams have done in 2025, there is not a good argument for the Kansas City Chiefs to be the favorite in this matchup. Now, if you are arguing, gotta have it back up against the wall, Patrick Mahomes has never lost 3 games in a row. If you are arguing all of those superlatives, fine, that's great. But if we are talking about what the two teams have done so far this season, there is not another 500 team at this point in the season that could go up against one of the 5 best teams in the National Football League and be a decided favorite in the matchup. Maybe you don't believe that the Colts are one of the 5 best teams in the league, and that's perfectly fine. But based on what they have done, based on how consistent they've been so far this season, based on the resume that they have put together so far this season, Indianapolis absolutely deserves to be called one of the 5 best teams in the National Football League. One of those teams is coming into Arrowhead this weekend playing what has been a subpar, mediocre version of the Kansas City Chiefs, yet the Chiefs are getting a lot of love. They're getting a lot of respect a lot of people are picking Kansas City to win this game. I'm picking Kansas City to win this game. But I'm asking you guys the question again, 913-586-7965. And Rob, we'll start with you. Do you think that this week's line, similar to last week, is this just continued hope, optimism, and belief in Kansas City? Or do you think this is just another sign that there's nothing the Colts can do in the first portion of the season to get people to buy in? It doesn't matter what the Colts record is. Once the weather starts to turn, once we get to January, playoff football, the public is telling you we don't believe in that quarterback and we don't believe in that team. Which do you think this is more indicative of?
I mean, I feel like a broken record. I'm going to say the same thing today that I said this time last week about the Broncos and Chiefs game. This is not about the Chiefs. This is a sign of disrespect to the Colts because maybe I'm viewing gambling wrong. Maybe I'm viewing lines wrong. Maybe I'm just evaluating all those things incorrectly. But I would imagine the powers that be over at FanDuel, they build those casinos in Vegas, are building these lines based on what is happening during the 2025 season. There is no, you got to make the Chiefs the favorite because the aura of the Chiefs from 3-4 years ago. This should be done based on what we have seen in the 2025 season. That is my understanding of how lines and things of that nature are built. So the Colts are 7-3, competing for a 1 seed. They're a division leader. They should not be 3.5-point dogs, or depending on where you bet, on the road. They're also coming off a bye, which I know that Andy Reid is like the wizard off a bye, but most teams off a bye are better. They're healthier, all the things. So I think this is disrespect to the Colts. If it were any other team, if it were the 2024 insert blank, there was a division leader going on the road to a team outside the playoffs that's 500. We can use the NFC as an example. Let's say the Philadelphia Eagles were headed to Dallas. I know the Cowboys are 4-5-1. Do we think Dallas would be a 3.5-point favorite? No. So this is disrespect to the Colts, in my opinion, not some sort of large belief in the Chiefs. That's how I feel about this game from the gambling perspective.
It's funny because I'm looking at the text line, and I certainly understand it. I would say that a lot of the comments I have heard both locally or nationally about the Chiefs have been repetitive. And the big reason it has been repetitive is because it's been repetitive. Almost everything that I feel this week about the Indianapolis Colts is exactly how I felt last week about the Denver Broncos. Man, the Chiefs never lose these games in the AFC West. We got 9 years of examples of where the Chiefs, where their back is up against the wall and they're going up a team that maybe necessarily you don't trust and believe in the postseason. The Chiefs will figure it out. Everything that we said last week, I feel like we are hearing today. I did a couple of national interviews, and that was just kind of the theme. Man, didn't we do this same conversation? Didn't we do these same topics last week against the Denver Broncos? We were wrong last week against the Broncos. A lot of people believe they are going to be right this week against the Indianapolis Colts. I think the public has told you this repeatedly. We are not ready to turn our back on the Kansas City Chiefs. Maybe you are. You watch them every single week. You just got a feeling, you got a hunch, whatever it is. Maybe you have decided that it is over for this team and you are not picking them this week. Let's get it right. If you are picking against the Chiefs, I don't think you're wrong to do so. The Colts just might be a better team than they are. Last week, I don't think people were ready to acknowledge that when it came to the Denver Broncos, that the Broncos in 2025 doesn't mean they will be in 2026, but in 2025, the Broncos are a better and more consistent team than the Kansas City Chiefs. There feels like there is a reluctancy to admit that same thing when it comes to the Indianapolis Colts. I am reluctant to admit that same thing when it comes to the Kansas City Colts. I think all of us are waiting to see if the Chiefs are going to wake up out of this bad dream. There is no other way to quantify the 2025 season. It has been a bad dream. The Chiefs have not been themselves at any point. Not from week one, not a couple of days before Thanksgiving. This is a completely different team than the one that we are used to. And it feels like this is the last time that we could have this conversation. The Chiefs are in not a need to have got a game or, yeah, it'd be nice if they have to have it. The Chiefs are absolutely in a must-win game. We gave you the numbers yesterday on the show from NFL Network. Their chances go from 58% of making the playoffs to 22% of making the playoffs if they lose it. So they are not mathematically going to be out of it, but you cannot continue to lose games in the AFC. You cannot continue to lose tiebreaker scenarios and then think that you're going to grab one of these wild card spots. You could possibly be looking at a scenario in which the Chiefs could not have the tiebreaker against Buffalo, not have it against Jacksonville, not have it against the Colts because of their divisional record and AFC record, and they could potentially not have it against the Houston Texans. And we'll talk more about Thursday Night Football coming up in just a bit. This is the most important from a record, morale building, resume building, tiebreaker standpoint. This is the most important regular season game that they have played. But the reason it feels like deja vu is we said all of this last week in the division about the Denver Broncos. We'll read more of your text coming up on the other side, 913-586-7965. We are asking the same question that we asked last week because the Chiefs are also favored against one of the 5 best teams in the National Football League. The Chiefs right now on FanDuel are a 3.5-point favorite in this game. Do you think this is respect for the Chiefs and belief in the Chiefs, or do you think this is another sign that the public does not believe in the Broncos, Colts, and the Patriots? We'll read more of your text coming up on the other side. We'll also talk about Thursday Night Football that include 2 teams that are firmly in the AFC wildcard hunt. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Bud Light and Tanners are teaming up to make every college game day legendary. Every Saturday, rep your college team, catch every play, and enjoy $15 buckets. Only at Kansas area Tanners locations. Bud Light and Tanners. From the stands to the bar, your game day headquarters.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a lot more.
And I completely agree. That's why I'll pay more for your car at GiveMeTheVin.com. That's the name of our new campaign. I'm worth more. You are worth more, and your car's worth more. And that's why I will pay more. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100 at GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Listen to the Chiefs versus the Colts this Sunday on 96.5 The Fan. Sponsored by Kansas Lottery. Download the Kansas Lottery Play-On app to play anytime, anywhere in Kansas.
At Odyssey, we believe in creating a diverse and inclusive workforce. We also value the power of community and encourage local organizations to help us in referring qualified applicants to our stations. If you're a community organization interested in receiving our vacancy information, simply email equalemployment@odyssey.com. You'll be notified of all our open positions. That's equalemployment@odyssey.com. And for all our listeners, please visit odysseyinc.com/careers for a list of job openings at all Odyssey radio stations.
BetMGM is coming soon to Missouri. Sports fans in Missouri can pre-register and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if their first bet loses. Plus, an additional $100 in bonus bets if they deposit before December 1st. Enjoy a betting app that was designed for game day with features like live bets, same-game parlays, BetMGM rewards points, and surprise boosts dropping in your account all throughout the season. It's everything a sports fan could want in one app. BetMGM is coming to Missouri on December 1st. Pre-register today. BetMGM, make it legendary. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New customer offers subject to eligibility requirements and minimum deposit of $10. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Pending BetMGM's licensure as a mobile sports wagering operator with the Missouri Gambling Commission register for a Missouri online sport wagering account starting 11/17. BetMGM's insurance of welcome offer is conditional on full.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
You've got a big day.
So you use Unstoppable scent boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
O'Reilly. Trust the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the products for your next oil change. Right now, get 5 quarts of Valvoline Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a Wix filter for $35.99. Plus, get a $15 gift card after rebate. Limit supply. See your O'Reilly Auto Parts store for details or shop O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/play.
Hi, I'm Nancy Cartwright. You may know me better as the voice of Bart Simpson. On Simpsons Declassified, we're diving into the mysteries that keep the Simpsons forever young. Have you ever wondered how the Simpsons regularly predicts future events? Who better to ask than the show's creators, performers, and writers, the celebrity guests? Be sure to follow and listen to Simpsons Declassified wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Trent McDuffie from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C. Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back into the show. Can we take a really quick detour before we get to your text? 913-586-7965. I have an NFL question that I'm curious what you guys would answer and who you would suggest. So, Rob, let's say that you and I were on NFL Family Feud in 2000, 25 years ago. And let's say the question was, I would consider this player to be a freak. I think the number one answer back in 2000 would have been Randy Moss. You remember what prime Randy Moss was like. He was different. He was the definition of just put your hand up, throw it up, and it wasn't a 50-50 ball. It was a 95-5 ball because you knew 8-4 was coming down with it. If you were playing this game in 1995, Barry Sanders might have been your answer. You know, there have been these guys that just, man, that guy's a freak. Who do you think that guy is right now? Like, if you were playing NFL Family Feud and it was this player is a freak, who do you think the number one answer would be? I'll tell you who I think it is, but I'm curious who you think it is. And I thought of this because I was just on YouTube. You know, sometimes you get down these YouTube rabbit holes, and I ended up watching this Randy Moss highlight film, and I'm just like, yo, this man was different. Like, what? You weren't supposed to be this athletic. You weren't supposed to be doing this. I don't know how you defended this. Who would be the answer to your question?
That's a really good question. I don't know that any wideout comes to mind or corner. Do you know who I think the answer might be? I think the answer might be Josh Allen. I mean, Josh Allen is a 6'5", Cam Newton built type of guy who can sling the ball deep, but also he can take a punishment running the football. Like, he's not the bus. I'm not comparing him to that, but he kind of takes hits the way he does. So I think the answer might be Josh Allen.
Text line 913-586-7965. I'm curious what suggestions you guys would throw out there if it was NFL Family Feud and the question was, this player is a freak. Who would the number one answer be? I think the number one answer would be Myles Garrett. That's what I would guess. Like, that would be my answer. Like, when I see Myles Garrett, I just see an absolute athletic monster. I don't know if there's anybody in the league like him. Just physical, raw ability, clearly the best player at his position, an absolute game wrecker, game changer kind of player. And I've seen him perform in other sports. I've seen him play basketball. I've seen him jump out of a pool. Like, I don't know if there is many things athletically that Myles Garrett can't do. So my answer for, hey, that guy's a freak, my answer would be Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett's probably very similar conceptually to Javon Curse, which his nickname was the Freak back in the day. Do you know who also might be on the list? Derrick Henry.
That's a good one.
I know I hate running back, but Derrick Henry looks like a linebacker, and he runs like he's not as fast as Adrian Peterson, I don't think, but he runs like Adrian Peterson and looks like Ray Lewis. So Derrick Henry might also be on the list.
So text line 913-586-7965. I got distracted for just a little bit. We'll ask Mitchell Schwartz this question whenever he comes in. I'm curious what his answer would be. If you were playing NFL Family Feud and the question was, this player is a freak, who would your number one answer be? My answer would be Myles Garrett. Rob said Josh Allen. That would be his answer to the question. So we were asking the question earlier. A lot of questions so far in the first 20 minutes of the show. We asked the same thing last week. We'll bring it back this week. We'll remix it, put our thing down, flip it, and reverse it. The Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites in this game against one of the 5 best teams in the National Football League. The Chiefs have not been one of the 5 best teams in the National Football League, nor have the Chiefs been consistent so far this season. Do you think that this is indicative of respect for the Chiefs and what they have done so far this in their history, and just respect that the Chiefs are the Chiefs and they'll get back to where they were? Or do you think this is disrespect towards the Indianapolis Colts, and people, no matter how many regular season games that they win, people and the public will just not be believers when it comes to the Indianapolis Colts? That was what we were talking about earlier today. Let's get to Thursday Night Football. I know the question is going to come up at some point, so sometimes you got to be like preemptive. You know what I mean? You want to be proactive when it comes to these things. I think if you're a Chiefs fan, you have to be rooting for Buffalo today. Buffalo is going to make the postseason. There's going to be 2 other teams that grab wild card spots. I think it is in the Chiefs' best interest because they have already lost to Buffalo and they still have a game left when it comes to Houston. Just Buffalo be the 5 seed. I don't really see a scenario in which the Chiefs can be the 5 seed. Just in terms of their schedule, them potentially dropping another game, the tiebreakers they don't have. I just find it hard to believe that the Chiefs are going to be the best team that doesn't win their division. I think that's going to be the loser of the AFC East. So that's either going to be the Bills or the Patriots. I just don't see a scenario in which the Chiefs win more games than either one of those 2 teams. So I don't think the 5 seed is really in play. I think the Chiefs can be the 6 seed or the 7 seed. I guess in some ways Houston could also be the 6 or the 7 seed. This is a team right now that doesn't have C.J. Stroud, so I would try to kick them while they're down. I think the best thing for the Chiefs to have happen is let Buffalo go ahead, win their games, either win their division or just go ahead and outright be the 5 seed. And then you are in a competition with, it's between Kansas City, Los Angeles, Houston, possibly Baltimore or Pittsburgh. We'll see how that division plays itself out. Jacksonville, it's among those teams for those final 2 spots. And I think Kansas City has the chance to grab one of those 2 spots. So I know it might make you feel icky and you're not used to it and you don't want to do it. I think it's in the Chiefs' best interest to just let Buffalo go ahead and win and just, hey, Buffalo, win your 13 games and go ahead and move out of our way. The Chiefs try to either get to 12 or possibly 11 and try to grab either the 6 or the 7 seed. I don't think that Buffalo is going to be the 6 or the 7.
I agree with you. I also think the reason Chiefs fans should be pulling for Josh Allen and the Bills tonight is purely tiebreak. I agree with you. I don't know if there's a scenario the Chiefs end up as the 5 seed. Just they'd have to go 7-0. But even then, I think they'd need some help. Tiebreak-wise, they do not hold a tiebreak over the Bills. They played head-to-head. The Bills won. The Chiefs play the Texans later this year. So from a tiebreak perspective, tonight is better for the Chiefs if the Texans lose. Let the Bills run out ahead of you, because even if you and the Bills do get into a fight down the stretch, they basically have a 1.5 game lead over you because of the tiebreak. I also think there's an emotional component to this, and this is unquantifiable. It's just the feel. It feels like the Texans are on life support. They don't have C.J. Stroud. I don't know the status of Will Anderson off the top of my head. I know Joe Mixon is now out officially for the season. It feels like the Texans are 5-5, but they are nearing the end of the line. They have Davis Mills tonight. Let the Bills land a knockout blow. let's get the Texans out of your playoff picture graphic. Let's let the Bills make the Texans season officially over before we've cut our turkey on Thanksgiving, so the Chiefs are not fighting for 2 spots with 5 teams competing for 2, but it's 3 teams competing for 2. So I don't want to give the Texans a breath of life, because if Davis Mills goes out and beats Josh Allen, now they're 6-5, and now CJ Stroud could be coming back. They could get a shot in the arm. We know they're the best defense in the NFL, at least statistically. So I agree with you from a tiebreak and all the numbers standpoint. I think there's an emotional standpoint too. Let the Bills knock the Texans out. Do not let the Texans get life breathed back into their body tonight against Buffalo Bills.
I want to go back to what we were just talking about in the NFL Family Feud conversation. We'll also ask Mike Florio this question as well. If you were playing NFL Family Feud and the question was, this guy is a freak, who would be the number 1 answer on the board? I said Myles Garrett. You know a name that I'm surprised that I haven't seen pop up so far on the list? I'm surprised that Bijan Robinson's name hasn't popped up with anybody. I mean, there's been some Derrick Henry, there's been some DK Metcalf, and I certainly get it. A couple of people have also suggested Tyreek Hill. Myles Garrett has been on the list. I mean, there's a wide range of answers, and I think it should be. There's a lot of great athletes on here. But I was just sitting there thinking it, and someone just said, I don't think there's that player that exists today in the NFL. I think there's a bunch of those guys today. I just don't know right now if there is like the obvious guy. The way that Randy Moss was. Like Randy Moss, there was a time there like Randy Moss was so good he became an adjective. Michael Vick, and I think some of it is we just have so many more of those kind of players today. But I mean, in 2000, when you're sitting there and you're watching Michael Vick, I've never seen a quarterback that can do these kind of things. He's running around and just making plays and making guys run into each other. Like I wonder if we can still be wowed on the football field in the exact same way. But I'm sitting here watching. I'm looking at Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson, to me, deserves to be in this conversation of just like, man, this is incredible. This guy's a freak.
I don't mean to have this come off like I'm anti-Bijan, because Bijan is a freak. But what Bijan does, haven't we seen that before? So it's hard for our mind to be like, oh, he's a freak. He's just... like, he's not as good as Barry Sanders, but there's some Barry Sanders type of wiggle in his game. His pass catching ability is kind of Christian McCaffrey-like. Like, Bijan Robinson is more athletic than 98% of the human population. But at the highest level, we've seen what Bijan does done before. So I think we're kind of numb to it. He's a freak, but we've seen that level of freak athleticism at his position before. So we're kind of like, ho-hum, he's regular type of running back.
If I ask you this question about college football, who would you say? Because the answer to me is obvious.
I would have said Travis Hunter 12 months ago.
Yeah, I think it's Jeremiah Smith.
Jeremiah Smith's a really good answer.
I think Jeremiah Smith is the answer.
Jeremiah Smith.
I'm like, you're not supposed to be this good at this age. What is wrong with you? You are not a human being.
Honestly, that pass rusher from Miami, Reuben Bain, he has a little bit of that freak pass rusher in him too. But yes, Jeremiah Smith's the answer. Julian Sayin is a Heisman candidate because Jeremiah Smith's a receiver on his team.
No, you ain't lying there. So I want to switch gears just a little bit, and I got to take a little teeny tiny shot at my brother, Nick Wright. Nick Wright has been spreading this propaganda all across the country for quite some time now, and a lot of you have been eating it up. And I get it. Hey, the Chiefs were running laps around everybody. We went back and we found this audio. You guys are going to trip out about this. This was exactly 10 months ago to the day that Nick Wright went on his very popular television show. Shout out to Nick, Danny, Kevin Wildes, Chris Broussard, the whole crew. Great people. Love them all. Nick was saying this at the beginning of the year about the Chiefs.
And here's how the Chiefs' seasons work. It starts in the AFC Championship game. Mm-hmm. If they go 0-1 that year, they have massive changes. It's happened twice. Once they fired the defensive coordinator after going 0-1 in 2018, and once they traded Tyreek Hill after going 0-1 in 2021. If they go 1-1, win the AFC Championship game, losing the Super Bowl, they look at the team and say which unit needs to be overhauled, and they fix it. That happened in 2020 when they went 1-1 and they changed their offensive line. And if they go 2-0, they hold a parade.
It wasn't that long ago that, boy, we used to laugh at these regular season games. Oh, the regular season doesn't matter. Why do you overreact? I can't believe you guys do this in the regular season. This is just practice. How many times, Rob, have we had the conversation about the Chiefs holding back plays for the postseason? We were just doing this 2-3 weeks ago. I mean, you know the Chiefs aren't using their real plays. Come on now, people. You know I ain't lying on this. 913-586-7965. We've been saying some crazy stuff about the NFL regular season. I mean, you know the Chiefs don't start trying until November. These games don't matter. They're this extended preseason. We're everybody's Super Bowl. We've been talking crazy about the regular season. Fast forward to this Sunday. Even Nick's got a tinge of worry in his voice.
But a literal and definitive double must-win. Wow. It is a must-win for the Chiefs for obvious reasons. In order to guarantee they make the postseason, they have to go 7-0, but to almost guarantee it, they have to go 6-1. So they probably have one loss to play with. So they are truly in must-win territory now the remainder of the season. Nick, why would the Colts be on there after all those amazing things Bruce said while Greg was the amen choir over here? Well, I don't know if you've been watching the Colts that closely, America, but they haven't looked like they did the first couple months since before Halloween. The last few weeks, they've been leaking a little oil.
The Chiefs have a playoff game on Sunday at Arrowhead. They're not going to have any home playoff games in January this year. Oh, they got home playoff games in November and December this year at Arrowhead. This is a playoff game. No, from a mathematics standpoint, the Chiefs are not eliminated if they lose this game. And you are right. They got to probably go 6-1. They could lose the one and then rattle off 6 in a row. I don't know if you can keep predicting a team that is 500 or slightly under 500 is now one day going to wake up and then go 6-0 down the stretch. In my opinion, if the Chiefs lose on Sunday, I don't know how you can predict them to go 3-0 against Denver, Los Angeles, and Houston. They have not won all three of those games at any point this season. They might go 2-1 in those three games. I don't know how you can predict them to go 3-0 when it comes to those games. So it's a little bit of fun. And you guys know my feeling towards Nick. That's my brother. I love Nick with my whole heart. But Nick has been a little arrogant when it comes to the Chiefs, and I get it. They've been the absolute best. I think everybody has gotten a little bit arrogant when it comes to the Chiefs for the last couple of seasons. And it's easy to do that when you've been the best. And the Chiefs might still end up getting to everywhere they want to go. But for the first time in the regular season, at least, man, the Chiefs are in a real fight every single week. There is no, oh, well, they were just holding play. No, empty the playbook is what you need to be doing. This is an absolute must-win, desperation, gotta have it kind of game. And I feel like we've said that 2, maybe 3 times this season. We can't keep pushing the can back. Oh, well, I mean, now they just got to win these 4 games and then they'll make the postseason. Man, we are a week away from Thanksgiving. A week away. They're 500. The Chiefs' entire lot in life can change in the next 7 days. Entire lot in life can change. Regardless of how you feel right now, whether you think people are overreacting, maybe you think it's over with Kansas City, maybe you're playing the wait and see, we will have all of the answers that we need to have with the Kansas City Chiefs at 7 o'clock next Thursday. If the Chiefs are 7-5, I would say for the most part, crisis averted. You beat a top 5 team at home. Dallas is, I don't know if Dallas is good, but I don't think Dallas is bad. And I think on the road in a short week, and I know it's not technically Thursday night football, but it's Thursday afternoon football. We all know that weird things can happen. If the Chiefs can figure out a way to win these next 2 weeks and they get 11 days to just woosah, spend time with family, and come back rested, refocused for a home game against the Houston Texans, the entire mood of the city will be different. Hey, we back. Look, they got 3 of their next 4 at home. They got divisional games. It's going to be cold. We're back at Arrowhead, and our home field advantage is going to push us the rest of the way. We always talk about the double tap with Kansas City. And Rob, we've talked about that in a single game situation with the Chiefs. How if you got the Chiefs down and you got a chance to kick them down, you got to keep them down. right now the AFC is looking at the Indianapolis Colts as a chance to potentially end the season for the Kansas City Chiefs in the 2025 season. They got a chance. The Chiefs cannot afford to lose more AFC games. They just can't. That's going to be an important tiebreaker that they're going to need. I know people keep talking about the Bills tiebreaker and Jacksonville's tiebreaker. Man, one of the tiebreakers is divisional games, and right now Los Angeles has not lost a game in the division, and the Chiefs have lost games in the division, and the other one is record in the AFC. The Chiefs cannot afford to keep losing games to other teams in the AFC. This is the urgency that you put when you didn't take care of your business in September the way that they didn't take care of business, or in October, or whenever they haven't taken care of business. So I'm looking at it like, man, the Chiefs season feels like it's down to 1 week. They got 2 games over the next 1 week, and if they can figure it out, then I think they're good and you can exhale a little bit. But I think we all are waiting to see how the Chiefs are going to respond. I thought they were going to respond well last week against the Broncos. They scored 19 points in the most important game of the season.
Listen, I understand why Nick and fans kind of felt about the preseason comments for a long time. I never subscribed to it, or at least no one on this show subscribed to it. I remember I made fun of people for the idea they were secret plays for Josh Gordon. I just thought he was washed. Guess what? He was washed. Like, I don't think the Chiefs may take the regular season as important as others, but I didn't think they took it like a preseason game. But that whole narrative, that whole propaganda, that whole thought process is absolutely dead and gone, because the Chiefs usually turn it on in November. If you're the kind of person that feels like they took the regular season like a preseason, they do usually flip a switch when it gets post-Halloween. Once all the candy is out of your house, the Chiefs turn it on. Well, since the candy has been churned out of your house in 2025, the Chiefs have not exactly bathed themselves in glory in November. They lost to Buffalo. They then lost to Denver. To a team that you view as a threat in the AFC and a team that you view as a threat in the AFC West. Now you're playing a new school, a new money threat in the AFC, in the Indianapolis Colts. If you are not taking the regular season serious, if you are holding back plays, if you are trying to play the long game and not get, too bogged down the minutia of a regular season game, don't worry about the other one, because at 5-6, I do not know that the Chiefs are a playoff team. They can be. They can make a run. I don't know. But if you're 5-6 and you are about to cut your Thanksgiving turkey, you are in a real uphill battle. So the idea that the regular season is all some sort of charade the Chiefs play just because they have to is nonsense to me. It's time to lock in and go now.
Yeah, 100%. And I guess to the point, I think sounds like you and I agree. I think people are waiting for the Chiefs to flick the light switch. You don't start flicking the light switch on December 15th. It's too late then at that point. You know what I mean? Like, you need to flick it this week. You need to flick it on November 22nd. November 23rd is when the light switch needs to be on if you're the Kansas City Chiefs and you're a 500 football team. Coming up in about 5 minutes or so, we're going to be joined by Mike Florio of NBC Sports. I want to play this for you very quickly. This is Gary Parrish of CBS. Here's the latest with Darren Peterson as he tries to get back on the court.
Hamstrings are weird in the sense that you can't see them. And what I mean is like with that, when somebody rolls their ankle, you see that in a basketball game. When somebody tears an ACL, you see that in a basketball game. When somebody pulls a hamstring, you just sort of see them go, oh, and you're like, oh, what happened? And so then it's like, well, why can't you play? I'm just telling you, as a former athlete who has torn a hamstring, it's not even a question of do you want to play or not. It's like you can't move. You can't do it. You can't do it. And you look up a week later and you still can't do it. And you look up a week later and you still can't do it. I enjoy being on the golf course as much as I enjoy being anywhere. They don't have to pay me to play. I pay them to let me play. There's nowhere I'd rather be on a Sunday morning than on a golf course. But like, there were just Sundays I just could not go because you can't do it. You cannot do it. And I've lived the life Darren Peterson is living right now. I've been sidelined by a hamstring injury in the year 2025, exactly like Darren Peterson. And I'm just telling you, KU fans, he's going through it right now. This is a tough type of injury, but my understanding is he will be back hopefully soon, and hopefully also without further hamstring irritations.
I mean, the goal of everybody is the exact same thing, man. I want Darren Peterson back on the court. I want to see the kid play. I want to see him healthy. I want to see him go on to the NBA and have a happy, healthy, productive career. I just want to see the kid get on the court. I don't know when that's going to be. I don't think anybody has the answer to it, but I'm certainly excited to see what the potential number 1 overall pick can look like in a Kansas uniform. Coming up on the other side, we'll be joined by Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk and NBC Sports. That's coming up. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5. The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Brian Pringle with Victory Ford at the Legends in KCK. Looking for a better car buying experience? At Victory Ford, we do things differently. Friendly, knowledgeable people who actually listen. Clear, upfront pricing with no games or gimmicks, and financing that fits your life. Whether you're hunting a rugged truck, a family SUV, or a fuel-smart commuter, our team walks you through every option so you drive away confident. Got a trade? We pay top dollar. No haggling, just a fair, honest offer so your next ride is within reach. Need financing? Our excellent financing specialists work with multiple lenders to get you competitive terms even if your credit isn't perfect. We're easy to get to from anywhere in the city, conveniently located at the Legends in KCK, just off 435 and Parallel Parkway, down the street from the Kansas Speedway and Nebraska Furniture Mart. Stop by, take a test drive, and feel the difference of a dealership that treats you like a neighbor. Visit us today at the Legends in KCK or victoryfordkc.com. Victory Ford, where our first price is better than their last.
Hey, Zach, are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbor's attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet. And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Try a first TD score wager with confidence today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
This afternoon, expect fog with a slight chance of rain and a high of 61.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies and services to get your packages there safely, even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples. That was easy.
Hey, it's Juju Smith-Schuster from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
We're going to head to different NFL voices today to get their opinions on what they think could possibly be wrong with the Kansas City Chiefs. We take our first trip to the phone lines right now with Mike Florio of NBC Sports and Pro Football Talk. Mike, happy to have you pop on the show today.
Great to be with you guys. How are you?
Absolutely. Doing well. Let's start with this. What are you seeing? What do you think is wrong with the Chiefs right now?
Well, it's funny. I saw Patrick Mahomes' comments from yesterday. We played them on our show this morning, PFT Live, where he addresses the situation, the fact that games that they were winning a year ago, when a key play was called for in a key moment, they would tend to make those plays, and this year they're not doing it. And he was very normal in his delivery. He didn't seem upset about it. It was very matter of fact, but it begs the question, why aren't the plays that were being made in the key moments last year being made in the key moments this year? What's the difference? And I think there's so many factors that go into it when you have 11 guys on the field at a time. You've got different levels of ability for the players. You've got older players. You've got players who may at some level be a little too satisfied by what's gone on the last few years to be putting in all of the extra work, all of the extra effort, all the little things you have to do, from hydration to film study to getting enough sleep to getting enough workouts in, to just doing all the things that it takes to really be committed to climbing that mountain again after they've climbed it 3 straight times to get to the Super Bowl. And then just the fatigue factor, mental and physical fatigue of riding that horse all the way into February for 3 straight years. I think there's so many different things that go into it, but that's the one key question when the Chiefs are in these positions where they can make a key play. Why are they not making the key play, and why is the other team making the key play? And the one very fascinating potential outcome to the season that will not make Chiefs fans happy is if the Chiefs ultimately lose the opportunity to be the number 7 seed in the AFC to the Jacksonville Jaguars because they have the same record, and the tiebreaker is that crazy Trevor Lawrence fell down twice, got up and scored when Chris Jones wasn't really chasing him moment. But maybe that's the perfect microcosm for where things are, that they're not making that play. They used to make that play. And I'll say this, I would not assume that the Chiefs aren't going to figure out how to get back to making that play.
Right now, we're talking to Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk and NBC Sports. We're going to go around the NFL today and ask various national voices how they feel about the Chiefs and if they still think they're making the playoffs. Mike, we led the show with this question. I'm curious to get your answer. The Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites in this game against the Colts. The Colts have been one of the 5 best teams in the league this year. The Chiefs have been very inconsistent so far this season. Do you think this line is more the public believes in Kansas City and believes they're going to turn this around, or do you think this line is indicative of there is very little that the Colts can do in the regular season to buy the public's trust?
I think it's a little bit of both. Look, the Chiefs were favorites on the road last week in Denver. And if you stripped away the logos and the colors and you just assessed the 53 players on each team analytically and looked at what they've done, why would we think the Chiefs should be favored to beat the Broncos in Denver, given the way the Broncos have played and given the way the Chiefs have played? So I think that the betting lines are influenced, and ultimately what the sports books are looking for, I believe, is to have equal action on both sides. They benefited from playing the Dolphins early on when they were in disarray. They've handled the games that they're supposed to handle, but they had one prior test, and that was to go to Pittsburgh. And the Steelers who have not been spectacular this year, beat them. So I think that this is a fair reflection. And you also throw in the reality that the Chiefs have their backs against the wall, and the Colts will have less of an incentive this weekend. I don't know how much of a difference that makes, but the Chiefs are getting closer and closer to one loss too many. And it just feels like, unless they really are done, I said about the Steelers last weekend with the Bengals, if they lose this game, they're done. And you could say if the Chiefs lose this one to the Colts, they may be done. And I think that's enough of a reason for the Chiefs to find a way to win it.
We've been calling them the new money teams in the National Football League, that for the last handful of years it's been Kansas City, Baltimore, Buffalo, Cincinnati was in this conversation, that every year these were the favorites. It feels like it's changed. Denver, Indianapolis, New England, those have been the three teams. Which one of those teams do you believe in the most? That if I told you one of these three teams represents the AFC in San Francisco, which team would you pick?
What three are the options to pick? The Colts, the Broncos, and the Patriots?
Yes, correct.
I'd say the Patriots. They've got that institutional DNA, which does not evaporate simply because Bill Belichick and Tom Brady are gone. Mike Vrabel is the connection back to that first iteration of the Patriots, 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. And Vrabel should have never been available to be hired by the New England Patriots. The Titans proved they're dysfunctional hopelessly by firing the best thing they had in Mike Vrabel. And it all just worked out perfectly for the Patriots to get him. And Drake May is proving to be, by all appearances, the best quarterback from the 2024 first-round class. Some of the things he's done this year, some of the specific statistical achievements are rare. Number of consecutive games, 200 yards passing with a passer rating above 100. I think he ended up going 8 games in a row. Only a couple of guys have ever done that. And every guy that's ever done it has won the MVP the year he did it. So all the planets are lining up for them, and I think that they're a team, when it's time to go play in that big playoff game, they are going to deliver. They're not going to flinch. They're not going to blink. They're not going to pee down their leg. And so that's the one thing that we can't lose sight of, and that's what the Chiefs have. And if the Chiefs get in, the Chiefs are going to be dangerous because everything changes when you get to the postseason, and it's single elimination. The records are out the window. All that matters is what spot did you get on the playoff tree. Doesn't matter how you got there. All that matters is what you're going to do in the 60 minutes of football that you're facing with your entire season riding on it. The Chiefs consistently rise to that challenge. Joe Burrow consistently rises to that challenge. So many other quarterbacks and teams and coaches, something happens in that moment. You feel the weight of the entire season of football and all the months of effort that preceded it, riding on the outcome of that game. And I think the Patriots, of those three teams, I think the Patriots are a team that is going to embrace that moment and carry it forward. And I won't be surprised if they represent the AFC in Santa Clara.
Mike, I'll get you out of here with these last 2 quick questions. Yes or no? You mentioned seeding. That's all that matters. Do you think Kansas City grabs either that 6 or that 7 seed?
I think they will, but we were looking at it today. There's a chance that the three teams that we assume to be the kings of the AFC coming into the season, the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Bengals, there's a chance, or Bills, excuse me, Ravens, Chiefs, Bills, none of them make it. And it's crazy to even utter those words, but there's a chance that none of them make it. But I think the Chiefs will, and it'll make their playoff games a lot more exciting. And we may get Chiefs-Eagles again in the Super Bowl like we were thinking we'd get before the season, but it's a hell of a circuitous route to get the Chiefs there at this point, and we never would have expected that.
Mike, I'll get you out of here with this last question. Every time I look up, you're writing a new book. You got something new out?
Yeah, I had a book come out in August that actually ended up being perfectly timed, and one of the reasons I pushed Big Shield to market when I did, I had a feeling there was going to be a major gambling scandal that I tried to presage in the book. And Big Shield it's fictional, but it's about the potential connections between the mob gambling and a professional football league that technically is not the NFL, and there are connections to a professional basketball league that is technically not the NBA. And the character in the book who is caught up in this gambling scenario is doing in the book the same thing Terry Rozier is alleged to have done recently by the federal government in the indictment that was handed down in Brooklyn. So I've tried to create a cautionary tale so anyone who reads it, especially if they're connected to the games, they understand there is nothing good that is going to come from this hollow pursuit of easy money. And there are so many different pathways for corruption. And inside information is the one thing that all sports leagues need to be concerned about. They need to minimize the inside information that's there, and they need to control the inside information. And they're all failing at this point. And hopefully these recent scandals and hopefully stories like Big Shield will get people to pay attention. And it's only 99 cents in ebook form on Amazon. The print version is $14.99. It's a quick read. It's a fun read. I mean, I try to make it entertaining. You can't just and you know, if anyone like if I was in my early 20s, the last thing I would do is read a book. But it would be great if players would read it, because I think it would teach them in an entertaining way a lesson far more valuable than having a finger wagged at them in a seminar where they don't want to be there and they're probably not paying attention the same way I would have been at that age, when I just want to get the hell out of there and go home and play video games.
That is Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, joining us on the show today. He does fantastic work for Pro Football Talk and NBC Sports. Mike, always great catching up with you. Appreciate your time today.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. That is Mike Florio joining us on the show today. Coming up at the top of the hour, we will continue our trip around the National Football League, and someone put together some very interesting numbers about the Chiefs' offense. I'll tell you what they are. Keep them right here, so drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
Every NFL Thursday is your chance to hit the jackpot on FanDuel, because FanDuel's Thursday touchdown jackpot means that you can win a share of $2 million in bonus bets each and every week. To get in on this Thursday's action, all you have to do is place an anytime touchdown score bet before the game kicks off. And if your player scores either the first or the last touchdown in the game, then you'll win your bet plus a share of bonus bets. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com. Use my promo code KFNZ to take a shot at the jackpot. Remember my promo code KFNZ for your chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt in. Must apply profit boost hosting on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last touchdown pick. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Hey, folks. I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth. Why not start today?
This season, the perfect gift is back, the McRib. Now at McDonald's, you can buy a McRib Extra Value Meal with medium fries and a medium soft drink, like a Dr. Pepper, and add another McRib sandwich for just $1 to give to someone special. Someone special. That could be anyone, right? Like I'm special. Listen to how well I do the jingle. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid for item with equal or lesser value. Dr. Pepper is a registered trademark of Dr. Pepper 7-Up, Inc.
Danon Hughes here. I've seen a lot of stat lines in my playing days, but these numbers, they caught my attention. Flight by Yingling. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, and all the crisp, refreshing flavor you want in a light beer. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, so you know it's got some serious history behind it. If you're into stats and taste, you're going to love this beer. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Danon Hughes. D.G. Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
You could be on the 50 at GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Enter to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Introducing the IHOP Value Menu, where all your breakfast faves are just $6 each every day. Where else can you get a big, filling, sit-down breakfast for only $6? Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP Value Menu. Available every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations.
O'Reilly.
Trust the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the products for your next oil change. Right now, get 5 quarts of Valvoline Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a Wix filter for $35.99. Plus, get a $15 gift card after rebate. Limit supply. See your O'Reilly Auto Parts store for details or shop O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/play.
Brought to you by Gomer's. 5 locations in the KC Metro or online at gomers.com.
It's holiday cheers time, and Gomer's Fine Wines and Liquors is here for it. With 5 locations, a wide selection, great prices, and friendly service. Gomer's Fine Wines and Liquors, family owned and KC proud since 1969.
Listen to the Chiefs and Colts on Sunday with pregame starting at 9. Kickoff at noon with Mitch, Danon, and Kling. Right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. In Odyssey Sports Station.
So we are going to have Bill Barnwell join us on the show coming up in about 15 minutes. I got a lot of respect for his analysis. Really happy to catch up with him and get his thoughts on the Kansas City Chiefs. We just had Mike Florio on the show. If you missed it, be sure to check it out on the podcast page, 913-586-7965. You can always use that number to text into the show today. So we are going to have Mitchell Schwartz join us in studio coming up in about an hour to talk about these numbers because Mitch, and I understand it, given his relationship with the team and a lot of the current players, Mitch is not really heavy-handed in his criticism when it comes to the team. Mitch has been very outspoken online about the offense and the problems that he sees with the offense. So we'll talk to him about it. Now, one of the things that has popped up a lot this year is the Chiefs and their ability to run the ball from shotgun or under center. Now, I don't remember spending a whole lot of time talking about this in the past, but there's usually a theme that pops up throughout the season in relation to their offense. Last year, it was the deep ball, and a lot of you started to notice, hey, Pat's kind of struggling when it comes to the deep ball, and he's throwing a low percentage when it comes to that. A lot of you have noticed them in shotgun or them running under center. Now, in theory, I don't disagree. I think with the backs that they have, if they just ran downhill more, I think they would have more success. It's not really what the Chiefs do. So, JP Acosta, he is with CBS Sports, he tweeted this out. I have a take about the Chiefs offense. They could be much more consistent and efficient if they were under center way more than they actually are. Now, someone posted the information. The Chiefs, they are 27th this season in the NFL with plays under center. That is not their offense. He looked up the numbers specifically when it comes to them running the ball from under center. They are 3rd in success rate. They are 2nd in EPA. They are 10th in yards per carry when they run the ball from under center. Rob, they are 28th in attempts this season in carries from under center. Now, maybe you think it's causation, correlation, whatever it is. These numbers to me seem very, very telling. I do think the way the Chiefs run the ball and how the Chiefs run the ball is flawed. And I think we've seen that so far this season. You might argue it's a lack of talent. Maybe you think it's an offensive line issue, whatever you think it is. But I think the importance of coaching is to get the most out of the talent and ability that you have. And I find it impossible for anyone to argue that you think they are getting the most out of the run game. I don't think Isaiah Pacheco instantly, overnight, turned into this. Now, maybe you could argue it's the leg injury. But, I mean, we went from a guy who was a borderline 950, 975 guy to a guy that just has no pop, no explosiveness, and doesn't really look special or unique in really any capacity in their offense. Brashard Smith cannot get going in the run game, and they don't trust them in the run game. Well, Carrington, how do you know they don't give him the ball? Well, Isaiah Pacheco was hurt, and they didn't give him a carry in the last game. The only running back to get a carry against the Broncos was Kareem Hunt. So I'm looking at these numbers. Some of these numbers come down to, are the Chiefs willing to, on the fly, change who they are and make adjustments? Right now, to me, my perception of the Chiefs is, we've been doing this thing for a long time. It's been working. We're going to keep doing it because eventually it's going to work. And maybe they end up being right. But a lot of these numbers that we found out over the last, 7 to 10 days or so, or suggesting, hey, there is a more effective and efficient way to run your offense with the players that you have. And for whatever reason, whether it's Matt Nagy, Andy Reid, whomever, I don't care at this point. But somebody is not looking at the raw numbers. The numbers tell you you can have success if you just put Patrick Mahomes under center and run the football. You don't got to be a ground and pound kind of team, but how they are running the football and their commitment to running the football, they don't respect it, and therefore their opponents don't respect it. There is no reason as a defense to really focus in or spend a lot of your time and effort to trying to stop the run, because you don't need to. Eventually, Andy or RPOs are going to stop the Chiefs' run game. So if they get 6 yards on that first down carry, it's all right. We know they're not going to stick with it. We know they're not going to continue to do it. It's just hard to deny the numbers at this portion in the season. We are not talking about a small sample size when it comes to their run game and the efficiency. This was telling. When the Chiefs run the ball under center, they are 3rd in success rate, 2nd in EPA, 10th in yards per carry. They have a decent run game when they do this. They're 28th in attempts. They just don't do it. Running back Rob, what do you think?
This kind of highlights what we argued about either early this week or late last week. I forget the exact date. But I was saying I think it was early this week. It doesn't matter who the running back is. I know Breece Hall was a sexy name among Chiefs fans in the text line at the deadline. It doesn't matter. The numbers are showing that the Chiefs' run game issues are with who is calling the plays, because those numbers are staggering. If I know him, if you know him, if JP Acosta knows him, I figure the group of statisticians over at Arrowhead knows them, and yet they continue to run out of shotgun. Mitchell Schwartz, who will be on the show in about an hour, had a big Instagram breakdown about the RPOs and why the Chiefs use the RPOs. And when using the RPOs, they're more pass-based than run-based. They just don't seem to be committed. And I think this is an Andy Reid, Matt Nagy, whomever thing more than is a talent thing. That's why I was anti-Breece Hall at the deadline. I don't think Breece Hall is changing anything. I think Andy Reid, this is what he does, and I don't think what he's doing is correct. Now, I will put this one caveat on this whole conversation, because I don't know the answer to this. I presume Andy Reid and Matt Nagy and whoever over Arrowhead Drive has the answer to this. Is Patrick Mahomes as a passer more comfortable out of shotgun? Because that would be the yin and the yang of coaching. Hey, our run game's worse with shotgun, but our quarterback's more comfortable. We're going to lean this way versus that way. But if Patrick Mahomes is just as comfortable getting up under center as he is from standing in shotgun, then those numbers prove it. They got to start running the ball more under center, and that means just more under center plays, because it can't be as easy of a tell as they're in shotgun, it's a pass, they're under center, it's a run. But I will put the caveat out there, and I don't have the answer to this. It's possible their pass game, for whatever the reason, works better out of shotgun, which is why they have to be a more shotgun-based team.
I don't care what kind of field it is. And I would say this is the one time that you can say that our job or your job is like theirs. If you are in a competitive field and in a competitive market, and you are not willing to adjust and adapt, then eventually you die off. You die off. Andy's run game historically has been successful. You can't argue that. Well, how do you know? They don't run the ball. They did with LaShawn McCoy. They did with Jamal Charles. They did with Kareem Hunt. They did with Deuce Staley. They did with Brian Westbrook. It's not like Andy has always had this problem. He has this problem right now, but he has not always had this problem. I think in some ways, Andy thought that this was 2005. I could just make a running back. I mean, Deuce Staley wasn't the 7th overall pick in the draft. Hey, we'll just make Deuce Staley. Hey, look, Brashard Smith is just like this guy. We'll just keep doing what we've been doing. And I think the rest of the NFL, at least when it comes to this, is telling you, no, you can't do it that way. That the Chiefs, if they want to try to get this run game going, which inevitably will help their offense get going and be more consistent because you play Denver again. This is a very talented defense. We think the second time they could have Patrick Surtain back. This is the defense that feels like they know your tendencies. They've seen you. No team has played the Chiefs closer. I guess maybe you could argue Buffalo in the regular season. The Broncos have the last couple of years. You're going to be in another dogfight. It's going to be cold. It's going to be Christmas. It's going to be a must-win game. You have to run the football. And the habits that you've been building up from August, September till now, you don't have the habits of running the football successfully. You don't have the habits of doing those things. So as the games now get really, really important, must win, gotta have it kind of games, what reason do I have to believe that the run game is going to figure it out? They haven't figured it out really at any point. So it's going to be more of the same. More 12 carries for 45 yards for Isaiah Pacheco. More frustration that it was a 3rd and 2 and they should have ran the football and they didn't run the football. Like, there's a lot of things I feel confident in the Chiefs' ability to turn around. I don't really know what reason I have to believe that the run game is going to be much different than what we've seen the first 10 games of the season.
I do agree there. I don't think it's changing. I don't know that midseason Andy Reid's going to say, you know what? We're now a run under center team. We're now power eye foot. I think we talk about all the time on the show, there are April and May problems and there are October and November problems. Sometimes the solution to October, November problem is in April and May. And I think for Andy Reid to change schematically is not going to happen midseason. He's not going to mid-year be like, we've done 10 games, didn't work, kind of throw out baby with the bathwater. No, I think this is going to have to be a schematic change that happens in the offseason, and I worry that could be one of the things that undoes this team in the postseason.
I mean, I do think that this is a chicken or egg thing when it comes to it. Like, I don't think the Chiefs have really good running backs at all. But I also think that you are not putting them in a position to be successful, and that's what I think coaching is. That's what I think teaching is. Hey, you're a teacher. This kid's not really good at science. Well, then help him be good at it. You're Andy Reid. It's your responsibility to get the most out of Isaiah Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, and Brashard Smith. Does anybody think that's what they're doing right now in their offense? Well, then that's on Andy Reid. I'm not putting that on Matt Nagy. I'm not putting that on anybody. That is on your head coach to get the most out of the personnel that you have. They have to figure this out down the stretch as they're going up. They have 4 of their next 7 games against playoff teams. They got to figure this out. And against teams that can run the football successfully and have an identity when it comes to running the football successfully. Coming up on the other side, we'll be joined by Bill Barnwell of ESPN. We'll ask him about the Chiefs' run game. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with CDOT right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey, folks, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Many men remember their first time. Not that first time. I'm talking about the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined that special moment. And if you're over 50, then the chances are then you've experienced this before. That first time can be frustrating. It can be a little bit embarrassing. But here's the good news. At Heartland Men's Health, that first time can also be the last time. Heartland Men's Health specializes in treating ED when the pills and herbals fail. With a success rate of over 90%, many men see results just after one visit. So your first visit is just $99, which includes a consult, lab work, and if medically advised, you get a test dose. And if it doesn't work right there in the office, then your visit is on the house. So don't let ED define your sex life. Call my friends at Heartland Men's Health today at 844-447-6600 or check out the website, heartlandmenshealth.com today. You can also stop by and visit any of the 3 area locations, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Be sure to stop by Heartland Men's Health.
Get ready, Missouri. Kickoff is near. The world's largest sports book is coming to your fingertips. Circa Sports, it's sports betting the way it should be. With high and transparent app limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. Start betting like a pro in Missouri on December 1st. Learn about your new bookie today at circasports.com. The world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Circa Sports launches December 1st.
Get ready, Missouri. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming soon. Starting on December 1st, new customers in Missouri can get up to $300 in bonus bets when you make your first $5 bet. From touchdowns to three-pointers, with FanDuel,
Any play can be the play of the game. With live betting, you can even get in on the action after the game has already started. All on an app that's safe, secure, and easy to use. Visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to learn more. And you'll be all set to bet when FanDuel goes live in Missouri on December 1st. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. Play your game of FanDuel, the #1 rated sportsbook app. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Offer starts 12/1/25. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG.
Hey, Kansas City, this is Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of the Victory Effect. Our pledge to drive down vehicle pricing for the city we love. The Black Friday sales event is on all month long, and the manufacturer posted incredible incentives to drive year-end sales. Business owners, listen up. Right now, and only at Victory, you can purchase a brand new 2025 Ram 2500 Heavy Duty for only $39,988. Folks, when is the last time you've seen a brand new heavy duty truck under $40,000? And guess what? This truck is nicely equipped. 4-wheel drive crew cab with full power, 8-inch touchscreen radio, upgraded work-grade interior, and much more. And to sweeten the deal on any new truck purchase now until the end of November, Victory is throwing in a free set of cab-length running boards or a spray-in bed liner. You choose. There is no shortage of supply. We stock more heavy-duty trucks than any other dealer in Kansas City. Just stop by, pick one out, and let's do business. Visit us at Kansas City's only automotive outlet mall, the Legends Auto Plaza, on the southeast corner of 435 and Parallel, just east of Nebraska Furniture Mart, or online at victorymotorskc.com, where our first price is better than their last.
The end of the year is rapidly approaching. We want to say thank you for another successful year as your neighborhood plumber. It's a privilege to be one of the few local family-run companies around. This time of year is when water heaters start to struggle. So through the end of the year, we are offering $250 off a tank replacement or $500 off a tankless water heater. So call 913-768-7676 or visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com to schedule.
Here we go.
Count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
This is incredible.
Watch your local NFL game live all season long.
And he's in for a touchdown.
Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Get 5 quarts of Valvoline full synthetic motor oil, a Wix filter, and a $15 gift card after rebate at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Not available in all states. Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary. Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a mere fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-474-1811. 800-474-1811. That's 800-474-1811.
Car wreck? Get the money you deserve. Mike's got this.
Paid for, client portrayal, and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500.
Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Okay, crash coming out of downtown Kansas side of things, and it's going to be 70 westbound as you approach 18th. Off to the right shoulder, a lot of onlooker delay. Independence, that's a stall. 435 northbound, the on-ramp from 23rd, so a little slow on the freeway. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's George Karlaftis from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by Bill Barnwell of ESPN. We're taking trips around the National Football League to get national voices on how they feel about the Chiefs. Bill, happy to have you on the show today. We've been asking people this question. What do you think is wrong with the Chiefs?
Overall, I don't think the Chiefs are broken. All the advanced analytics I can find, DVOA, expected points added, ESPN's Football Power Index, all those numbers say that this year's version of the Chiefs are actually better than last year's version of the Chiefs. And I know that sounds crazy. I know the records are the records. Wins and losses, at the end of the day, are what matters, not what an advanced metric says. But what that implies is that there's not anything that's like completely and utterly flawed that is broken about this team. There are little things you can point to here or there. They are last in pressure rate when they blitz, which is just so out of character for a Steve Spagnuolo defense. Obviously, they're still kind of figuring things out in the secondary. Obviously, Patrick cannot throw multiple interceptions in the red zone. Those have been, if you assume they're going to kick field goals at least on those drives, a 30-point swing in 3 games decided by 3 points in each of them. So, obviously a significant impact. I really think this is a team, though, that at the end of the day is good, not really different than last year's team. But last year's team had the most incredible timing and the most incredible luck I've ever seen. And this year's team has something close to the worst luck and worst timing I can recall in recent memory.
Are you still hopeful, and it sounds like this is the case, are you still hopeful, optimistic that this team is going to make the playoffs? Because the thing that a lot of people are pointing out is the tiebreaker situation. The Chiefs don't have the tiebreaker against Buffalo. They don't have the tiebreaker against Jacksonville. I think they could be in a spot where they possibly don't have it against the Chargers, given the Chiefs' record in the AFC and also in the division. So it's some key tiebreakers they're going to miss out on. Are you confident in this team's ability to make the postseason?
I am, and that's not only a thing about the Chiefs, although the tiebreaker concerns you bring up are totally valid and realistic and are going to be a problem for them, but it's more a commentary on the rest of the AFC, right? Like, it's not just, looking at, what are the Chiefs, but what are the other teams? I mean, the teams you mentioned, the Jags, did beat the Chiefs. They were a mess after beating the Chiefs for several weeks before they had a great game against the Chargers. The Chargers, have had great stretches this year, but they also just got blown out by the Jags. Broncos ahead of the Chiefs. Broncos are kind of this year's version of the Chiefs, right? Like, with everything going right for them in the fourth quarter of games when they've been struggling to put teams away earlier in games. This is a really flawed conference. The Bills, the Bills beat the Chiefs, but the Bills are a flawed team. They lost to the Falcons, really can't beat anybody. I just think you're looking at a conference where so many teams are flawed. And so there might be this perception that the Chiefs have to be, the best versions of themselves, this really fantastic, juggernaut on both sides of the ball to go on a hot streak here late in the year and make the playoffs. I don't think they have to be that team. They just have to be a little bit better maybe than the other teams because they have to have a better record because of the tiebreaker. So, yes, I'm confident.
A lot of fans have complained about the Chiefs and the lack of running from under center. When you look at the numbers, they have been a far more effective team when they run from under center. That's just not something they do a lot. What are you seeing on film with the Chiefs' run game and why it's been so ineffective this season?
I've always been arguing I wanted to see more under center runs, even when they were winning games earlier in the last couple of years. Just think it's a thing you see other teams do to create opportunities. And it's not just about, strictly calling a run play, but it's more about the range of things you're presenting to teams. If you can run from under center, or if you have the threat of running from under center, now you have the ability to run play action from under center. And if you do that, that's an opportunity to hit shots downfield, which is something we know the Chiefs want to do more of this year. You're changing the way defenses approach you. You can have different sorts of personnel groupers. You can lead into 12 and 13 personnel with more tight ends in the field a little easier from under center than you can from shotgun. You can run different kinds of run. You can run duo. You can run counter a little easier from under center than you can from shotgun. Or from pistol, I should say, as well. And so I do think when I watch them do it, they look fine doing it. It's just clear that, for years now, it's just not something Andy Reid really believes is important. And I'm not going to lie. I would trust Andy Reid over me. This man has won multiple Super Bowls for a reason. I don't think, I'm going would move linebackers around. It would, I think, sort of it would make things easier for Patrick Mahomes and make things easier for this offense right now in a way that I'm surprised Andy Reid has not already leaned into it, especially after the bye. But I just think the Chiefs, given they have a talented offensive line, they're big and strong on the interior, it just seems like such a logical place for them to go. But for whatever reason, they haven't done it so far.
I feel like the Chiefs have potentially gotten stale in some areas. And as I look at the rest of the AFC, it's just radically changing. The Broncos are a drastically different team. The Colts are a drastically different team. The Patriots, we can go up and down the line of teams that have just really evolved over the last 12 to 18 months. And I don't know if necessarily that's the case with Kansas City. Is that what you're seeing on film, that teams are maybe spotting tendencies and they just caught up to what Kansas City likes to do?
That's a good question. I do think they have evolved a bit. Obviously, we're seeing more of the Mahomes quarterback run game this year. We've seen, Rashee Rice be, a threat near the red zone. But like I said, it'd be one thing if the offense was struggling. It'd be one thing if the defense was struggling on a play-by-play basis by the advanced numbers. I'd say third saying, well, that's kind of a concern. But my expected points added per play, which is my preferred nerd metric, the Chiefs are better on offense and defense this year than they were last year, which is kind of scary, given that, again, the record is what the record is. I don't think there's schematically a staleness to it. I do think this team, because of some of the moves they made last year, obviously traded a bunch of draft picks for players. Some of the picks they made at the end of the first round have not necessarily panned out the way they would have hoped. They've spent a lot of money on some star players, bringing them back. You spent a lot on Trey Smith. You spent a lot on Chris Jones. You spent a lot on Karlaftis. Spent a lot on Nick Bolton. Nothing wrong with keeping those guys, but it's going to limit what you can do in terms of spending money. And then this offseason, their big free agent addition was Christian Fulton, who's barely played this year. So you sort of end up in a stretch where, you can only do so much because you've committed so much to keeping the guys you have around. And I don't think any of the moves they made to keep those guys around were wrong or unreasonable or things they shouldn't have done, but it just limits maybe what you can do. Maybe you only get one shot at a free agent as opposed to 3 or 4 free agents you can bring in. And so I do think this is a Chiefs team that, stale maybe would be a little too harsh, but just you do know what you're getting when you play them. Now, they can still win. I don't think there's anything wrong. I think the Eagles are basically, in a lot of ways, the same team they were a year ago, except they've lost a couple of talented players, but Eagles are winning a lot of games. I do think it's something where there's nothing wrong with it, but I do think the Chiefs have just had, unfortunately, some frustrating end-of-game situations from some of the star players they're paying a ton of money to.
Who do you consider to be the favorite right now in the AFC? I think it's the Indianapolis Colts, but you could convince me that it's the Broncos. You could convince me that it's the Patriots. Hell, if Kansas City wins on Sunday, you can convince me that they are still the favorite in the AFC.
That's a good question. I would say the Colts, just because when you think about, okay, who has been the best team this year to me consistently week after week, it's been the Colts. Patriots have been really good, but they're playing a really easy schedule. The Broncos, house of cards, seems a little harsh. The defense is phenomenal, but I'm just very skeptical of that quarterback and that offense. Colts offense has been one of the best in NFL history on a week-by-week basis, on a drive-by-drive basis this season. And I know Daniel Jones is not that caliber of quarterback. He's not going to be, an MVP this year, but they have a great running back, great offensive line, a bunch of really useful receivers who complement each other well. I think Tyler Warren is the offensive rookie of the year, and I really like the play caller. I think Shane Steichen's a good coach. So to me, I would say the Colts, especially if Sauce Gardner, steps in and plays very well. We saw a good start from him in Indianapolis. But like I said, there's no perfect team here. I mean, the Chiefs could credibly go on a run at the end of the year. If they win 12 games, they could still be the 1 seed or the
his thoughts on the Kansas City Chiefs as we get ready for their matchup on Sunday against the Indianapolis Colts. We'll get back to the Chiefs here coming up in a little bit. I want to give you guys a couple of news and notes that are currently happening in the National Football League. It would appear that Joe Burrow is going to play. He was a full participant again in Bengals practice. The plan was to see how he responded. He responded by being a full participant. I don't think you're having Joe Burrow as a full participant and giving him all of the 1 reps for him then to not play on Sunday. So the expectation is that Joe Burrow is going to be back. I also saw this from Calvin Watkins. He covers the Dallas Cowboys. So you guys remember on Monday Night Football, CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, they didn't start. So, of course, people were asking questions. Hey, what's going on? Well, we found out that CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, they missed curfew. Well, we now have the story. CeeDee Lamb said that he and George Pickens missed curfew before the game because they were out having dinner and drinks at Red Rock Casino. The rumor was that CeeDee Lamb got so drunk that he threw up. CeeDee Lamb said this did not happen. He said it's disrespectful to even suggest something like that because he knows how to, quote, hold his liquor, end quote. The Cowboys are they are America's favorite comedy. And they're also America's favorite drama. Just all wrapped in one. Can you imagine on the Thursday before the game, your wide receiver is saying that it's disrespectful for you to suggest that he threw up in public because, quote, he knows how to hold his liquor, end quote. Got it. What kind of spirit man do you think CeeDee Lamb is? You think he's a tequila guy, a cognac guy? What kind of when CeeDee Lamb is at the bar and he's ordering a drink, what do you think CeeDee Lamb is ordering?
Well, I think we can rule out beer.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like a beer drinker.
He seems like he seems like a Casamigos, a Patron kind of individual, That's what he seems like to me.
I was going to say some sort of tequila drink.
Okay.
Maybe like a tequila water or tequila and seltzer type of thing. That's kind of because he's from Texas. You know what? I bet it's tequila and seltzer. That's a really big deal down in Texas.
Okay.
A nice combination, a little seltzer water with tequila.
I was just saying.
By the way, the fact he's upset that people are insinuating he puked, not because...
That's what he was mad about. Not mad at anything else. Like, how dare you suggest that I threw up? That's insulting.
Yeah, the insinuation he was mad about is not that you were out late, is that, when I'm out late, I don't puke.
Yeah, that's what he said.
I can hold my liquor.
That's what he said. He's not mad that people are accusing him of staying out late and drinking. He's mad that you have the audacity to suggest that I couldn't have 3 or 4 drinks the night before the game. How many is a few?
Well, if reports are true and he puked, I'm going to guess the number is upwards of 7+.
Okay, I'm just asking. I don't know. I wasn't there. Red Rock Casino, very nice casino for those of you that have been to Las Vegas a time or two before. When you start going a lot, you start going to the local casino. That's what Red Rock is. Very, very nice casino.
I think they probably went to Red Rock because it's a little bit more of a, I don't say hidden gem.
It's out. It's not on the strip. It's not a glamorous one.
So you can be out till 7 a.m. drinking and puking and barely no one will notice.
It's definitely if you know kind of spot when it comes to Las Vegas. So, Rob, let's get to some of the top stories this week in the National Football League. And then I have a Two Americas question that I would like to ask you just to learn. I always just like using you as a sounding board for things that I don't know because I just want to learn. Rob, let's go around the NFL.
Carrington, let's start around the NFL with, I cannot believe this is the biggest story in the NFL this week, but it is. Shedeur Sanders will start this week for the Cleveland Browns as they head to aforementioned Las Vegas to take on the Los Angeles Raiders. Carrington, I don't need any big sweeping declarations about Shedeur, but what are your expectations for the rookie quarterback in his first start in the National Football League?
I don't want to not answer your question, but I just want to talk about this instead. It does not matter where you got drafted if you're Shedeur. It does not matter. You were a mid-round pick. So it doesn't matter if you were a 3rd-round pick, 7th-round pick. None of that matters anymore. You are being given an opportunity to play in the National Football League. If Shedeur plays well from now until the end of the season, he has a chance to be a long-term backup in the National Football League and maybe, just maybe, someday turn into a starter. If Shedeur flames out and he is bad for the next couple of weeks, he will never get another opportunity in the National Football League. Oh, well, Carrington, that's not fair. That's life. That's the profession that he has chosen. I hope that has been communicated to him by the people that love and care about him. I'm just giving you this message as an outsider. But I can go through the names, the list, and as a 5th-round pick, who some teams and a lot of teams view you as a distraction, if you finally get your chance to play and you don't ball out and you don't improve and you don't show signs, I'm telling you, you will be an Instagram influencer. We'll be getting the Shedeur podcast coming up in a couple of months, and that'll be his full-time job. You be working in Nike, helping promote your pop's shoes. Okay. That's my message to Shedeur. I don't know how he's going to play. I want to know like everybody else. I'm just telling you, you got your opportunity. You got your shot. You're a starting quarterback in the National Football League. Make the most out of it.
I do know this about Shedeur's first start. His game's at 3 o'clock on Sunday. Around 3:17, Twitter's going to be insufferable. Either direction. If he stinks, oh boy. If in the first drive, if he's great, oh boy. Social media is about to be an absolute train wreck.
I don't plan on being on there at that time, so I don't care what they're doing on there. Chiefs game will be over. Probably nap time for me at that point anyway.
You're not locked into Browns and Raiders?
Yeah,
Come on now.
It'll be nap time for me.
Speaking of quarterbacks, let's stick with that theme as part of Around the NFL. Jalen Hurts, there's drama in Philadelphia.
Hold on, let's go back. There's always drama in Philadelphia. Have you ever known somebody that just like has everything in life, but they're just miserable? Hey, bro, what are you talking about? Like, you got a loving wife, loving family, you make good money. Like, bro, why are you so miserable all the time? You don't smile, you don't have fun, you don't. That's who the Eagles are. They have that energy personified. They're the best team maybe in the National Football League. They're defending Super Bowl champions. All we ever hear about and discuss with them is the drama that they got going on. They got more drama than Secret Wives of Norman, whatever that show is called. You know the one I'm talking about. They got more drama than them going on.
First off, don't disrespect Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
You know what I'm talking about.
It's a nice guilty pleasure watch.
Yeah, the Eagles are a guilty pleasure watch.
My question is this. Does it feel like we're heading for a divorce? Because now reports are A.J. Brown and wide receivers are frustrated with the Hurts as the Eagles quarterback.
I feel bad that I'm not answering these questions. I'm tired of talking about the Eagles not getting along with each other. It's the same problem every week. It's either Nick Sirianni and I don't think Nick Sirianni understands math. I also just think that Nick Sirianni, he just can't help himself. Like, he's inside a store and everywhere it just says, don't touch, don't touch, don't touch. Nick Sirianni can't just go in there, look around, and then walk out. He like has to touch something. That's what he does every week. It's like 4th and 7. Everybody's going punt. You're like, no, I think we should go for it. Every week, it's either that or it's some issue with Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, and A.J. Brown. I don't want to talk about them anymore.
Speaking of quarterbacks who are weirdos, let's pivot from Jalen Hurts right to Aaron Rodgers. It's been a while since we've talked about Aaron Rodgers in this show.
I don't think that's, you know what? I actually don't think that's fair when it comes to Rodgers.
You don't think he's a weirdo anymore? I think he's just quiet now.
Good. Good. Aaron is allowed to do whatever he wants in his free time. The problem was he just couldn't stop telling us about it. Hey, Aaron, what team are you going to play for? Well, I've got to go down in the darkness for 7 days, and then when I come back, I'll tell. It was all of that. We don't need the constant updates. Have you seen the rumor that people think that he's making up his wife, that his wife's not a real person?
Yes, I've seen that. I don't know why. I don't know how she has existed without a single photo of him ever, but I have seen that theory.
It's not even that. Okay.
That's part of the reason.
I know it's his personal life. But Rob, it would be weird if your wife never came to any work event. That'd be weird.
Mm-hmm.
Never? Doesn't matter what time it is. Just she doesn't come to any of them. No station of it. I've never seen her before. That'd be weird. We've never seen this. The people are saying she doesn't do any of the wives and girlfriends things. What woman don't love brunch? All the girlies is going to brunch. Aaron Rodgers' wife doesn't like brunch? She doesn't like a mimosa? She doesn't like an omelet with the girls?
Not even just
That's
brunch.
what's weird.
Not even just brunch. Think about the Chiefs. Like, you see on social media, Patrick's wife, and when McCole Hardman was here, his girlfriend, they're all friends. They do stuff in the box. She just watches from home, I guess, every week.
That's what I'm saying.
They went to L.A. last week.
If she doesn't want to be part of the girlies. I mean, Taylor Swift is hanging out with Noah Gray's wife. She would never do that before. But the girlies say we're getting brunch. We're getting brunch. 100%.
My question about Aaron Rodgers is not about his potentially fake wife. It's about the fact that
I don't know if she's real or not. I don't know. I'm not even here to speculate. I'm just telling you what has been reported.
What we do know is that he is going to play hurt this weekend. Carrington, the Steelers have a 1-game lead in the AFC North.
And also playing the Bears. He owns the Bears.
Smart or dumb for Rodgers to go out there in some sort of splint device taking on the Chicago Bears?
Smart. He ain't got that many Got to make mama proud. She's at home rooting for you, watching you on the Fire Stick, watching you on Tubi. You got to make her proud. So, yeah, I get it. Salute to Aaron. I know we're having jokes, but, Aaron, you getting off Pat McAfee's show was the best thing you possibly could have done. I'm serious. It was the best possible decision for everybody. I love that you're not on there anymore. I hated every Tuesday that we had to get updates on what you were thinking and doing. And the fact that we know less about Aaron Rodgers has been the best for all parties. He seems happier. We're happier for it. It's not like McAfee's struggling now. The president's going on his show. He's doing okay without Aaron Rodgers' weekly Tuesday appearances. Coming up on the other side, Rob, I have a Two Americas question to ask you before we get back to Chiefs and Colts. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, a show that prides itself on getting it right.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, let me tell you guys about our friends over at Gates Barbecue. As we're getting closer and closer and closer to the holidays, you're going to start thinking about, well, what are we going to eat for the holidays? Well, whatever that is, make sure that it includes some of the classic Gates seasonings. They got 4 different flavors. They got original, hot, extra hot, sweet and mild, and of course you can get some of that Gates salad seasoning. And any flavor is going to go great with your green beans, your spinach. Maybe you're putting it in your casseroles or you're putting it on your eggs because, of course, you got to season your eggs. Maybe you plan on making your own marinade for the bird this Thanksgiving. Well, use some of that Gates seasoning. Maybe you don't feel like cooking today and you feel like stopping by and grabbing something for dinner. Then go by any one of the Area 5 locations. You know you got to pick up that mixed plate to go, please. Heavy on the sauce. Maybe your tailgate, the home team is in town this weekend. Go pick up a Gates chicken wing tray available at the Main Street location or over on the one on State Line. So it doesn't matter what your holiday or food needs are. You got to make sure that they include our friends over at Gates Barbecue.
Play Kansas Lottery's holiday scratch tickets for a chance to win up to $100,000 instantly. Enter tickets into Play On for a chance to win bonus drawings. See KSLottery.com.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. I've spent a lot of Sundays right here playing in front of the best fans in football. And now it's almost your turn to get in the game because DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to the Show Me State on December 1st. Soon you'll get fast payouts when you win, a safe and secure app that's easy to use, and promos that keep the action going all season long. It's America's top-rated sportsbook app. New customers can sign up right now and score $300 in bonus bets on launch day, December 1st.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 965. New Missouri customers, sign up today and score $300 in bonus bets once we're live. That's code 965. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present. Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
This is Blake Fanning with Shawnee Mission Ford. The year-end sales event starts now. That's 0% on all new 25 Escapes, Explorers, F-150s, Transits, and Super Duties, regular and super cabs. But it doesn't stop there. You also get 90 days till first payment and 90 days of Blue Cruise. Shawnee Mission Ford still gives you the large discounts and top trade allowances. You'll save thousands. Take advantage of 0% for 60 months, 90 days till first payment, and 90 days of Blue Cruise. Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than just Peyton Manning. I'm also motivating Manning, and you too can be so much more.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be 1,000,000 miles away. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Tremfya Guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit Tremfya.com.
Motley Crue, the return of the Carnival of Sins. September 8th, Morton Amphitheater. The Crew celebrates the 20th anniversary of Carnival of Sins. Motley Crue, with performances by Tesla and Extreme. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at LiveNation.com. Motley Crue, Morton Amphitheater, Kansas City's next great live music destination.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Park & Go. Your holiday travel made easy with all covered airport parking.
Heading out of town for the holidays? Make travel easy with Park & Go. Enjoy all covered parking, free shuttles, and luggage help that'll have you feeling merry and bright. Reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Happy holidays from Park & Go.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Got a stall causing some problems headed north on 71 just past Gregory. It is the left lane block still working the crash coming out of downtown 70 westbound at 18th off to the right shoulder. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
The only place in town to hear the hypothetical button game is on The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
All right, we got Mitchell Schwartz set to join us coming up in 10 minutes or so. I got two things that I want to get into. Rob, do you want to do the Two Americas topic first, or do you want to do the Chiefs-Colts topic first?
Let's do Two Americas.
My barber and I had our first issue earlier today.
Is that you don't tip him?
No, it's not the issue. We have a great relationship. I've been going there since before COVID. That's my guy. He knows that. It's my man. So I kind of have a outstanding appointment because, I do television on Friday. So, I try to, stay trimmed up before I go on Fox 4. I got to be looking good for the camera. My appointment is at 10:30. I go in there, I get trimmed up, come into work. So today he's like, I'm going to be running a little bit late. Hey, cool, no problem. It's going to be about 5 extra minutes. Oh, not that big of a deal. So around 10:35, he then texts me and says, I'll be right in. I'm pulling up. I think you guys know where this story is going to go. His pulling up, I then get out of the car and then stand in front of the door for the barbershop. It was 15 minutes later. I'm like, bro, why'd you say that? Why'd you say that? You lied to me. I was very upset at this. Like, no, man, it's good. I got you. And we kind of had a little quick back and forth, but that's my man. So I had to move on with my life. Pulling up in my America could mean anything. Pulling up could mean you haven't even left the house. Pulling up could mean you're 5 minutes away. You're around the corner. Pulling up could mean anything. So, Rob, I'm asking you in your community, in your America, I just want to know what these time frames mean. So if you tell me, I'm about to pull up, how far away are you? Let's say that I'm at the other place and we're about to get a drink and we're about to just hang out, just two bros together. Bond and having fellowship. What does I'm pulling up mean in your America?
I don't think it's a universal blanket thing because I think it's a case-by-case basis. Like, let's say me and you are going out to dinner on like a Saturday. I won't use after the show. And you're like, hey, be there at 6. And I'm like, cool. And I text you like 6:03, pulling up. For me, that's 5 minutes away. 3 to 5 minutes.
Pulling up means 3 to 5.
But that's not a universal thing for My America because there are some people in My America that are late people. And it could be 6:10, they tell me they're pulling up, and they roll up at 6:25. So I don't know there's a blanket, universal, this is what My America means by pulling up, but case by case, I can tell you that for me, it means I'm 3 to 5 out.
What does around the corner mean?
Oh, around the corner? That's under 5. I'm around the corner.
Okay, I'm telling you, around the corner in My America could mean anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes. Hey, I'm just around the corner. No, stop it.
That's what in the car means. I'm in the car.
In the car.
Okay, well, we're going to Arrowhead, so we're here. Are you 25 minutes away? Are you 40? Are you 8 minutes away? In the car is a moving target.
Okay, that's what I was asking. That, to me, when you say in the car, that's what on the way could mean. And on the way could mean you haven't even started the process of leaving. You haven't started the process of it. You say, hey, man, I'll hit you up. I'm on the way. You could still be laying in bed and you're on Instagram. I don't know what it means. So that's why I just wanted to know. Maybe My America and your America is two completely different things. Because to me, pulling up means I am within 2 to 3 minutes. Oh, I'm pulling up. All right, hey, I'm